I've got the lift all the way down, but my gate still won't open. What do I do from here? If you've driven a van for any length of time, you'll have problems with these lifts when it comes to being at someone's house and you've let the lift down and that rear ramp gate just don't want to come down like it's supposed to. And it is absolutely inevitable. And the reason being is because all surfaces are not flat. And so I'm going to give you a few pointers today. I hope they'll be a help to you in this regard. Now, I've left the lift up on purpose, and the reason being is because I want to show you this, what I'm calling a foot right here. On some vans, there is a foot that is similar in design to this on both sides. This particular van is only on one side. And so this foot is what releases the gate here. As a matter of fact, you can see the locking mechanism right here that holds the gate in place. And you can see when I push up on the foot how that it brings the lock up. And so this is what makes that ramp go down. Now, if you're on uneven ground, obviously, that can be a problem. Now, here we are. I've got the lift all the way down, and you'll notice that these, I call them these 4x4 poles right here. If you'll notice, they're all the way on the ground. It's the same way on the other side, they're touching the ground. So this is as far down as this lift can possibly go. But what I haven't shown you, I have purposely parked the van on a grade. And so where these legs are at is higher than down where this ramp is at. And so as you see, even though we're on the ground at the front, in the back, we're still off the ground. And you will have somebody's house, somebody's driveway that's going to be similar to this. You're going to run across those eventually. And as you'll notice, our little lift foot is not being pressed up. You'll see that the whole end of that lift is not on the ground. Now, there are a couple of things that you can do to alleviate the problem. Now, one of them may just be that you just have to altogether pull the van up, move it over, and because that's going to be the only fix. You just have to get on better ground, period, because no matter how much other things you may try, they just won't work. But here's one that regularly is a fix, and I'm going to show you. If you'll just take your foot and put it on the end of the ramp right here, you can get a little downward motion on it, enough to let it open the gate up. As you see, the gate goes down now. And so that's a very common one that you can use. Let me show you another one. Remember the lock foot I was talking to you about? You can see here it's almost to the ground right now. But if push come to shove, if you need to grab maybe just a little rock or something to put up under it, and that make the difference. Even if you had to do something like that to get that up. Now, if you'll notice, I've got the ramp to go down, but this is all the further she'll go. There's still a nice gap in between it and the ground. And so if you have a situation like this where you've had to do some extra work, as it were, to make this lift ramp come down, then a lot of times as well, you'll have a gap like this. Take note of that. Be precautious, and the reason being is because that can easily become a trip hazard to one of your clients. Someone that's on a walker or on a cane, and their foot could easily go up under that and cause them to trip. And so you may have to put your foot on it to make it go down a little further, or just let them know as they're entering on to make sure and kind of step over that. But that's something else to take note of in these kind of situations. One final note here. If you'll see, our ramp foot is pressed upwards. It's released the lock right here. But notice my gate's not all the way down. On some vans, and I say some, very few, you may have to continue to press the down button. On most vans, once that occurs, the gate's going to just fall open. But on this particular van here, you'll see I have to continually hold the lift down button in order for that ramp to go down. And so something else to take note of as well. As I said earlier, these are things that you're absolutely going to face. I hope this little tip today was something that'll help you, because I promise you, you'll run into these along the way.